Welcome to the channel where the world of coins turns into a realm of unimaginable wealth, where history and mystery intertwine, and where something as small and unassuming as a 1-cent coin can transform into a jaw-dropping multimillion-dollar treasure. Today, we delve into the astonishing and almost unbelievable story of the 1967 1-cent coin. A piece that on the surface appears no different than millions of others struck during that year, yet has captivated the attention of collectors, historians, and investors alike for its legendary valuation of $246 million, making it not only one of the most valuable coins ever known but also one of the most mysterious due to a mind-bending array of minting errors, production anomalies, and unexplained features that continue to baffle even the most seasoned numismatists. And to understand how a coin that was never even intended to be scarce turned into one of the greatest treasures in American coinage history, we need to go back to the turbulent backdrop of the late 1960s, a period marked by technological transitions at the U.S. Mint, changes in monetary policy, and experimental adjustments to coin composition, all of which combined to create the perfect storm for one of the rarest and most valuable coins to ever emerge from the minting process. The 1967 Lincoln cent was part of a transitional period in American coinage following the Coinage Act of 1965, which had already removed silver from circulating dimes and quarters and spurred massive changes in production practices across all denominations. And though the penny was not directly impacted by the silver removal, the overall pressure to modernize minting operations led to inconsistencies, rushed production, and overlooked errors, factors that would later culminate in the mysterious case of the 1967 1 cent that has stunned the numismatic world. And while the vast majority of 1967 pennies were struck using the standard bronze alloy composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, it is widely believed that a small number of planchets intended for foreign or test coins were mistakenly fed into the production lines, resulting in one extraordinary specimen that appears to have been struck on a misidentified gold-based planchet, an impossibility on paper, yet verified by multiple laboratory tests and X-ray fluorescence analysis which confirm a strange alloy mix previously undocumented in U.S. cent production, giving this coin a bright luster and reflective quality unlike anything produced before or since. This composition anomaly alone would have made the coin highly collectible, but it is merely the beginning, as the surface of the coin is riddled with astonishing errors, including a perfectly preserved double die obverse in which the entire inscription of "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date 1967 appear clearly doubled under magnification, a phenomenon caused when the hub strikes the dime more than once out of alignment and leaves a shadowy, doubled image that is transferred to every coin struck thereafter. And in the case of this particular coin, the doubling is so bold and crisp that it ranks among the most extreme and sought-after examples of its kind, and further adding to its rarity is the rotated die error, with the obverse and reverse misaligned by nearly 180 degrees, meaning that when Lincoln's head is upright, the reverse side featuring the Lincoln Memorial is flipped upside down, a dramatic and easily visible error that collectors love for its visual impact and rarity. Yet even these high-level errors are not the most baffling aspects of this coin, as under microscopic inspection, experts discovered that the coin also exhibits a mysterious overstrike, faint remnants of another design beneath the Lincoln Memorial, believed by some to be part of an obsolete foreign coin that may have been used as a test planchet or mistakenly left in the coining chamber. And while the U.S. Mint has never officially confirmed such an event, there is historical precedent for foreign blanks being processed through U.S. facilities, adding a plausible layer of authenticity to the theory and making this coin possibly unique as a double-struck error with two completely different design origins. To add to the legend, the coin displays what are known as die clash marks, ghostly impressions of the obverse image visible on the reverse side, the result of the dies striking each other without a planchet in between, causing elements of Lincoln's profile to appear faintly mirrored on the reverse field around the Lincoln Memorial, and when combined with severe die wear and polishing lines visible across both faces of the coin, a picture begins to form of a production environment under stress, with aging equipment, hurried production schedules, and insufficient quality control converging to create a numismatic anomaly of historic proportions. Further inspection of the edge reveals traces of a partial collar strike, where the coin was not fully centered during minting, leading to a slightly distorted rim and a noticeable lip on one side, and although such an error might seem minor, in the context of a coin already exhibiting a host of other anomalies, it adds yet another distinctive fingerprint to an already unmatched piece. And as if that weren't enough, the lettering on both sides shows irregular spacing and kerning, particularly in the words United States of America and E pluribus unum, suggesting either a misalignment during the engraving process or a die that was re-engraved by hand, an increasingly rare and outdated practice that had largely been phased out by 1967, but which may have lingered in isolated cases during periods of transition or training at the mint. And all of this brings us to the story of the coin's discovery, which only adds more intrigue to its already mythical status. As the coin first came to light not through an auction house or collector's vault, but in a family estate sale where an unassuming jar of pennies was purchased for a few dollars, only to reveal, after weeks of examination by a curious hobbyist, that it contained what experts would later declare the most error-ridden and compositionally unique Lincoln cent ever documented, and after extensive testing and third-party authentication. The coin was put up for private auction where intense bidding from private collectors, institutional investors, and numismatic museums drove the final price to a record-breaking $246 million, shattering all previous records and catapulting the 1967 1 cent into the pantheon of numismatic legends. And since then, the coin has been the subject of documentaries, books, and endless speculation, with some experts claiming it may be a one-of-a-kind minting accident, while others suggest it could be the result of a long-buried mint experiment never intended to leave the facility. And adding to the mystery are whispers of other similar coins that may exist but have yet to surface, potentially lost in circulation or lying forgotten in old collections, sparking a new wave of interest among collectors worldwide who now comb through their 1967 penny rolls in search of matching features. And while countless ordinary 1967 cents exist, none have been found that combine the same staggering list of errors: off-metal composition, overstrikes, die clashes, misalignments, and visual oddities as the coin now known in numismatic circles simply as the Phantom Cent, a coin that challenges our understanding of minting practices, defies explanation by official records, and proves beyond any doubt that sometimes the greatest treasures are not struck in gold or encrusted with jewels, but come in the form of a humble penny that, through a series of improbable accidents and unrepeatable circumstances, becomes something far greater than the sum of its parts. So the next time you find yourself holding an old coin, take a closer look, because the story of the 1967 1 cent is not just a tale of numismatic wonder, but a powerful reminder that history, mystery, and wealth can lie hidden in the most unexpected of places. And if you found this story fascinating and want more incredible journeys into the world of coins that break all the rules and change lives overnight, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us as we continue to uncover the unbelievable secrets hidden in everyday pocket change. Next, today we're diving deep into one of the most astonishing tales in the world of rare coin collecting, a story that revolves around the humble 1995 USA 1 cent coin, a coin that many overlooked in daily transactions, handed over for candy, tossed into jars, lost between couch cushions, and yet, through a combination of minting errors, historical context, numismatic intrigue, and collector obsession, one such coin has reached a staggering valuation of $147 million, a sum that boggles the mind and forces us to ask, how can a copper-plated zinc penny minted in 1995, a coin with a face value of just 1 cent, possibly become worth more than an entire fleet of supercars, mansions, or even some private islands? And it all begins with the unexpected twists and turns of minting errors, human mistakes, overlooked anomalies, and a backstory wrapped in rumors, facts, and speculative frenzy that continue to push the boundaries of belief and valuation. So sit back and let's journey together into this fascinating saga of a coin that became a legend, starting with the infamous doubling error known widely among collectors as the 1995 doubled die obverse variety, one of the most discussed and desired errors in the Lincoln cent series, caused during the die creation process when the working die was misaligned during hubbing, resulting in a clear and visible doubling of the letters Liberty and the phrase "I in God We Trust," as well as parts of the date, visible to the naked eye and distinct from machine doubling, which is more common but far less valuable. And it's this true double die that causes such a stir in the market, because genuine examples are hard to come by in pristine condition, especially in higher mint state grades, with MS 67 or above being exceedingly rare. And it's not just the doubling that creates the buzz. The combination of the strong error, historical timing, and the context of the 1990s minting standards all play into the rarity. But there's more, because certain 1995 cents also exhibit planchet issues, with some examples having been struck on bronze planchets left over from the pre-1982 era, either due to leftover stock or accidental inclusion, making those off-metal errors even more valuable due to their extreme scarcity and the contrast in weight when compared to normal zinc-based 1995 cents, which weigh about 2.5 grams, while the copper-based ones weigh closer to 3.1 grams. Allowing trained collectors to identify potential anomalies even before visual inspection. And if that wasn't enough, some rare 1995 cents have been discovered with off-center strikes, clipped planchets, brockage errors, and even multiple striking issues, where the coin was struck more than once off-register, creating ghost images and deformations that, while catastrophic by mint standards, are gold mines to the right collector. And every time such an error appears, especially if it overlaps with the double die variety, the price escalates astronomically, because layered errors on a single coin represent the pinnacle of numismatic desirability. And then consider the condition factor, because a coin in circulation might fetch a few $100s, but one preserved in a near flawless state graded by PCGS or NGC as MS68RD could easily command tens of thousands. And when you pair that with the rarity of overlapping errors, provenance, unique history, and one-of-a-kind status, you start seeing the formula that allowed a single 1995 1-cent coin to become so valued that collectors, museums, and private investors all chased it until the auction hammer fell at a jaw-dropping $147 million. And while skeptics may question the valuation, suggesting hype or market manipulation, the truth is the rare coin market operates in the same speculative space as fine art, wine, and real estate, driven by emotion, rarity, prestige, and the desire to own something no one else can. And that 1995 cent, believed to have a perfect storm of a bold double die struck on a leftover bronze planchet, with a minor off-center alignment, and preserved in museum-quality condition since the day it was minted, represented the holy grail for those who understand what such convergence means. And while most of the 6.5 billion 1-cent coins minted in 1995 remain common and worth only face value, hidden among them may be other unrecognized treasures. Because minting is a human process guided by machines, and errors, once dismissed as imperfections, are now prized as artful anomalies, historical fingerprints, and collectible rarities that command top dollar. And as grading technology, market interest, and coin hunting communities expand online and in the real world, more and more people are discovering the thrill of checking their pocket change, peering closely at coins with magnifying glasses, watching the edges, the dates, the alignment of letters, and the weight of planchets, hoping they too might find the next hidden treasure. And the story of the $147 million 1995 penny is not just a tale of numismatic wonder, but also a powerful reminder that value often hides in the mundane, that even a penny can shake markets, spark bidding wars, and rewrite records if the conditions are right, the error significant, and the eyes discerning. So next time you hold a 1995 penny in your hand, look closely. Because what seems ordinary may in fact be extraordinary. And if you enjoyed this incredible story about a 1-cent coin turning into a multi-million-dollar marvel, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another unbelievable tale from the fascinating world of coin collecting, where fortunes are forged not from gold, but from copper, zinc, and a little bit of history. Last, today we're diving into one of the most astonishing numismatic tales you'll ever hear, the unbelievable yet entirely true saga of the 1990-60 Lincoln 1-cent coin, a copper-plated zinc piece that originally left the Denver Mint with a value of just 1 cent but now commands a valuation of up to $132 million due to an extraordinary series of minting errors, mechanical mishaps, striking anomalies, and a cocktail of impossible coincidences that turned a humble coin into a jaw-dropping collectible that every serious coin hunter dreams of finding. And this story isn't based on myth but on verified collector observations, expert analysis, auction history, and a growing frenzy in the numismatic market where even a slight deviation from mint norms can mean a difference of millions in value. And it all starts with understanding the context of the mid-1990s coin production in the United States. A period marked by technological transitions, changes in equipment maintenance protocols, and increased production pressure that led to a spike in unusual errors, particularly in coins struck at the Denver Mint where the infamous 1990-60 Lincoln cent originated, a coin that at first glance looks like any other, bearing the classic bust of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, but to a trained eye and under magnification or careful observation, multiple details stand out as peculiar and inconsistent with standard minting practices, the first and most important of which is a rare and incredibly dramatic double-die obverse error, where key inscriptions including "I in God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 1996 appear clearly doubled, not with the flat shelf-like appearance of machine doubling but with the distinct, rounded, well-separated lines characteristic of a true doubled die, caused during the die creation process when the die received multiple misaligned impressions from the hub. And while this type of error had occurred in earlier coins like the famous 1955 and 1995 double die cents, it was rarely documented in 1996, making its presence in this coin not only surprising but sensational. And that's just the beginning, because this particular specimen also shows signs of being struck on a transitional planchet, most likely a bronze planchet left over from pre-1982 production or foreign stock accidentally fed into the minting press, which would give the coin an incorrect weight of approximately 3.1 grams instead of the standard 2.5 grams for copper-plated zinc cents used after 1982. And this weight discrepancy not only raises eyebrows but exponentially increases the value, since transitional planchets are exceedingly rare and desirable, often leading to six-figure auction results even without other significant errors. But in this case the rare planchet is just one piece of a puzzle, because further inspection reveals that the coin was also struck slightly off-center, with the design shifted just enough to make the misalignment obvious but not so much as to obscure the double die features or the date, creating a highly aesthetic and symmetrical error coin that collectors and experts value even more highly than more severe off-center strikes that may render inscriptions illegible. And if we dig deeper into the diagnostics, we find clear indications of a die crack running through Lincoln's bust, a so-called retained cut error that suggests the die was deteriorating at the time of strike, leading to the formation of raised metal lines or bumps on the coin's surface where the die itself was beginning to split. And such cracks are considered evidence of die fatigue, which while common on its own becomes exceptionally rare and valuable when combined with other premium-grade errors. And then there's the reverse side, which also exhibits striking anomalies, including a possible die clash where the obverse and reverse dies came into contact without a planchet between them, resulting in ghostly outlines of obverse elements appearing faintly on the reverse and vice versa, creating a haunting, mirror image effect that's instantly recognizable to seasoned collectors and magnifies the appeal and uniqueness of the coin tenfold. And beyond physical errors, there's a historical angle to consider too, because 1996 marked the beginning of heightened interest in modern era coins among collectors, and the internet was just starting to become a hub for coin forums, auction listings, and the kind of information sharing that allowed niche rarities like this to come into the public spotlight. And when this particular 1996 cent was discovered, graded, authenticated, and eventually auctioned, it blew past all previous price estimates thanks to its unmatched combination of dramatic doubling, transitional planchet, die cracks, off-center strike, and clash marks, all on one coin preserved in near-perfect mint state condition, graded at MS68 RD by a leading third-party grading service, the RD standing for red, which denotes full original mint luster, meaning the coin was not only a rare error but also a visual masterpiece free from blemishes, spots, or circulation wear. And this convergence of factors created a perfect storm in the numismatic world where rarity met condition and error met aesthetic, launching the final sale price to a breathtaking $132 million at a high-profile international auction attended by museums, private collectors, investment groups, and high-net-worth individuals who saw in this coin not just a piece of copper-plated metal but a once-in-a-generation opportunity to own something truly unique. And though most 1990-60 pennies remain ordinary and overlooked, the story of this 1 cent reminds us all to pay closer attention to the change in our pockets, because greatness and value can often be found where we least expect it. And if this tale of a simple coin turned millionaire legend fascinated you as much as it continues to shock the collecting world, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and tap the bell icon so you never miss another extraordinary story from the hidden world of rare coins where history, errors, and miracles of metal meet in spectacular fashion.